Hello, Melton Guy here, and I'm taking another look, and I've got a title today, and it'll explain itself as we move along. The title is Alina Habba and the 40 Thieves. I know, I'm being a little funny, but bear with me. I know that you've heard the phrase, you probably heard your mama, daddy, teachers say this: birds of a feather flock together. My mama used to tell me to understand this. It's very important. You, more often than not, will be judged strictly by others based on the company you keep. Now remember that. Alina Habba and the 40 Thieves, birds of a feather, based on the company you keep. I'm going to bring to mind a situation that's happened in a southern state of Tennessee. I don't know, but I hope you have heard of this fine gentleman by the name of Justin Jones. He's a member of the House of Representatives of Tennessee, representing District 52. I see him, and he's not the only one, but I see this young man as a voice of reason among a den of racist and ignorant rhinos. Now, I say rhinos because I refer to those people like Donald Trump and Margaret Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, and Ted Cruz. They're rhinos. They are the ones that are Republican in name only. And you would agree with that if you could remember the Republicans of your grandfather, as they say. Even the Republicans of my father. He didn't live to see the disaster that is Donald Trump. But you know what? This young man was one of three who was he was ejected from the House of Representatives, and they said all kinds of things, but everybody knew that paid attention, knew what was going on, that at the core of it was the same old thing that has plagued this country, especially in the South. And I say especially in the South because that's where I'm from, and that's what I know most about. Racism. Pure racism in its worst form. Now, he finally got back in, but it should have never happened. You know, the state of Tennessee, who just voted to put guns, into the classroom via the teacher. Anybody thinks that's a great idea, you're not cooking on all burners. I bet, and this is kind of an aside in a way, I bet all those rhinos on any given Sunday are in their Southern Baptists or Methodists or another of those good churches who allow this to go on. You know, those Jesus spouting, Bible believing, devout, assholes who do not give one shit about Justin Jones or you or me. They have to look in the mirror to actually see anyone for whom they care. Now, if it sounds like I'm angry, that is because I am very angry. And I get angry every day, and I try not to. But it seems like it's something new, brought on by the Trump era, by the MAGA era. There's things that are happening that are made easily happen because of Trump and his cult. Yes, I'm angry. Am I being harsh? No. If anything, I'm not being harsh enough, nor is anyone else. Now, all those that go to these churches and lift themselves up as Christians and yet To say on the other side of their mouth, say they're Trump supporters, I say to them and those like them in any state, I'm not interested in your kind of Jesus. Now, do not misunderstand me. Tennessee, by no means, has a monopoly on this kind of hatred. And that's what racism is hatred. We can see it today. It is more prevalent today. Let me put it this way. It is more out in the open, and it is allowed to be out in the open by virtue of ever letting a man like Donald Trump come to power. It should never have happened. And it should have been stopped first and foremost by those good Southern Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterian, Church of God, Assembly, all of those great churches that profess Jesus. They should have been the ones to be in line first to stop this tyrant, this evil incarnate being. But all these things do. They come about so easily these days because of the Trump MAGA cult crowd. I hear words that I have not heard in years. Not that they weren't being said, but they weren't being said so everybody can hear them, so it makes others think, well, it's all right. I can use that word. I can use this insult. Brought on by this cult they call the MAGA Trump crowd. You know, in eastern North Carolina, and it may be said in other states also, but here it is common to hear someone say regarding the weather, if you don't like the weather in North Carolina, wait a couple of hours, it'll change, or something like that. You know, it was always before if your candidate didn't win. It wasn't the end of the world, and you could steam for a day or two, and then know in 4 years, well, we'd try it again. Not when President Biden was elected. And now we know if Trump wins again, he'll never go away. And if he loses, he'll never go away. Not unless some of these good people who claim to be so close to God just look at this man and what he's done, what he's said, and what he says he's going to do, and find him somewhere in your holy book. You know, when Trump came along, in their minds, that is that MAGA cult, they thought they had found gold in Donald J. Trump. Now, since then, and I believe this because I have confidence, very little these days, in the people of this country, but I believe it with my whole being, they knew at some point that it was not gold, but fool's gold. But never will it get past their pride so as they will admit it. Now, some have seen the light. Some have come around. Some have begun to listen and to study what this man is capable and was capable and did do. He's a cruel individual, and he's done nothing that in any way resembled the church, resembled God, resembled anything that you stand for in whatever religion you are. There have been some that have seen the light. There have been quite a few, been many, you might say. But that cult of MAGA nuts still hang in there. Unfortunately, within that core are governors, senators, representatives, And the most disturbing, many of them are so-called God-fearing, Bible-toting hypocrites of American churches who still worship to this day a human being by the name of Donald Trump. That again is why I say I don't want to hear about your Jesus. I may not believe about Jesus the way I thought many did, the way the church of my childhood believed. I have my own opinions about Jesus. What he said and things he did had good ideas. He did good things. He tried to tell us how to do good things and how to be happy, how to live amongst one another. But I don't want to hear about the Jesus of these MAGA people who call themselves Christians and still go to these churches and rule these churches many times. Jesus, in most translations of the Bible, of the New Testament, were good and spoke of a new order of love for one another, caring for one another. But I do not feel that at all from most of those who espouse to be Christians and a Trump supporter. As a matter of fact, I can find no way to be both. I've studied theology, Christology, world religions, and Western religion for years in graduate school, and it baffles me when I hear anyone say they are both. From my studies, my life growing up in church, and my New Testament knowledge, to even mention MAGA or Trump or any part of that cult insults me. Not as a Christian, but intellectually. As I said, I may not believe the way the church of my youth believes about Jesus, but I know many who do. And they are the many that claim to be Trump supporters and Christians. They believe like the church of my youth. And I'm telling you, whoever you are, I don't care who you are, I don't care if you're a minister or a Sunday school teacher, a governor or a senator or a representative, whatever, it absolutely is not possible. So what about Alina Habba and the 40 Thieves? Well, remembering that and the birds of a feather thing and being judged by the company you keep, I want to say this. I am a gentleman. I always have been. Anyone that knows me knows I've always been a gentleman. So I'm saying that to say this. If I meet this type that I'm mentioning, the Trump MAGA Christians, if I meet you on the street, I will be cordial. I will be kind. I'll shake your hand. If I see them in Walmart, the very same. If I see them in restaurants, the very same. I will not engage in a controversial conversation, but I'll be nice. All because I heartily hope this Trumpian nightmare will end before it's too late. Yes, I mentioned Alina Habba and the 40 Thieves because that's a person, an example. She's aligned herself with that type of company, which makes her, in my opinion, a thief, along with all of those with whom she serves, however she serves them. I do not want anyone to mistake for one moment that I am or ever have been a part of this Trump cult. I don't want that to ever be an idea in somebody's head. I stand firm against them. I think they have ruined what we had, and hopefully we can get it back. Have we ever been a great nation? Absolutely not. Have we been a nation that's seeking to be great, that can see into the future a little bit and see light where we can be great? Yeah, we've been that, but we are not now. If you want to be known as one of the destroyers of our democracy, if you want to be known as one of the destroyers of this country, then you align yourself with the right kind of people. Those people who say that's what they're going to do. Oh, I'll give them that. They're not bashful. They say that's what they're going to do. I detest the very idea. Let me put it another way. I detest the word dictator, because over the years it's meant nothing but death, cruelty, and all the other dirty words that go with it. Yes, I want to hang out with you. Right now I can't. But like I say, I'm a gentleman, and I'll shake your hand. But I will not go to your birthday party. I want you to remember Tennessee Brando and Owen Morgan and Texas Paul and others who are trying their best and doing a good job of getting this word out about what this nation is facing, what we've been through because of this man, Trump, and the little weasels and parasites that just hang on to him and would do anything at his beck and call. Remember these people. And there's many more out there that's doing. If you watch Tennessee Brando and Owen Morgan and Texas Paul, you'll get the idea of others that you can listen to. And they'll tell you what's going on. They'll not only tell you, they'll show you factual proof. And remember that share is still the magic word. We've got to share. Reaching beyond the choir with my message and theirs is my goal. Right now, that's my goal. And I believe it's theirs too, to get beyond the choir and get this message into the ears of the people. Will please give us all a thumbs up and subscribe so we can share our message with many, many more. And remember my book, The Offspring of Ignorance, now being sold on Amazon. And look for that idea of chosen ignorance. Today, you can be ignorant in a good sense that you just didn't learn this, or you can be ignorant in the sense that you just choose not to know any better. And I think that's what a lot of the churches in which I grew up, that I loved so dearly. Like I say, I am not the kind of Christian that you think about when you go to your church. I believe in God, and I believe that the man Jesus delivered a great message, and he showed us the way. It's entirely up to us to accept it. I'll see you next time, and God bless you all.